I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio,
where we discuss Disney's villainous plans for a huge expansion to the Magic Kingdom and do a little ranking of our favorite mischievous Disney villains.
The characters we love to hate.
Oh, yes. I've always loved Disney villains.
Me too.
It was hard for me as a kid to not root for them sometimes a little bit because I like them so much. They've always got the best songs. The
songs do it for me.
The songs are like, they've just always got the catchiest, most like cool songs, and they've always got really cool costumes and character designs. True. So yeah, I don't know. The villains have always had a special place in my heart.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah.
We have dreamt of Villains Land for years and years and years.
It's true.
The fact that it's coming to fruition is wild.
I know. At D23, they were like, what's beyond Big Thunder Mountain? That thing that you've always kind of wanted in a Disney park, and also something that in the fan community, like the parks fan community, I feel like we've been discussing this for years on end now. Yeah. And when the concept art was released, it was like they generated exactly what we had all kind of been collectively imagining for. I've always pictured like the dark, spiky mountains and a castle and a dark roller coaster.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they brought to life our imaginations, which is pretty cool.
Super exciting.
Absolutely. So today, as we go through the villains, and we each have our own rankings of, I guess you could say, our favorite Disney villains, we're also going to discuss a little bit how we would like to see them factor into the new land coming to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes,
this is very exciting. I'm super excited to dive into our fiendish list of foes. But before we do, we wanted to say thank you so much for finding us and joining us for this roller coaster of an episode. If you would like to check us out on first of all, if you'd like to support the show, thank you so much. If you would leave us a review, that would do wonders for helping us continue the program here on Neverland Navigation Radio. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribing to the show so you can see when new episodes pop up each and every week. We would love to have you along for the ride. And if you'd like to see the visual version of the show where we decorate the set with some villainous decoration, you can check us out on the Neverland Navigation Co. YouTube channel. Yes.
And if you are thinking about taking a vacation of any sort, did you know that when you book yourself a cruise vacation or a Disney World or a Universal vacation, that you are paying for a personal travel agent's commission? It's baked into the price, whether you use one or not. So you're paying for that service. You might as well use it. So send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com and I can be your personal travel agent. I can be the one that gets up at 6 a.m. and makes dining reservations. I can be the one that sits on hold for 2 hours to get a request put in or something like that. I help you out. This is something you're paying for anyway. And since your place of travel pays me a commission, but still doesn't charge you any extra, you also get a kickback from me and you get free trip t-shirts from our 5-star Etsy shop.
Ooh, maybe each of you could have your favorite Disney villain on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
fun.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, that'll be a fun one.
Yes. Yeah, having a travel agent takes so much stress out of the planning process. So even before your theme park vacation or whatever vacation you're trying to take, you can be chilling like a villain. Okay. All right, Morgan, are you ready to dive into our list?
I am ready.
Woo! Before we dive into cracking the top 10, do you have any honorable mentions on your list?
I do. Should I name them? What if they're on your list?
That's okay. I just won't say anything.
Okay.
All right.
So one of my honorable mentions is Syndrome from The Incredibles, which The Incredibles is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies, Pixar for sure.
Yeah, you're starting with a Pixar villain. Wow.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't put him on my top 10 list is I can't really I haven't really conceptualized a place for him in the villain's land.
Yeah, it is a little hard to imagine him in the lineup with like Maleficent, Jafar, like the classic villains, you know what I
Yes.
mean? So I definitely get that.
I did deviate from the classics though. So I also wrote down Screenslaver for the same reason from
Oh.
Incredibles 2. I love the twist in the movie.
Yes, like an undercover villain.
Yes, yeah.
Very
I won't
cool.
give it away in case you haven't seen The Incredibles 2. If
Smart.
you haven't, you should see it. That's one of the best Disney movies of all time, in my opinion. So that's a great villain
Mhm.
because of the twist, but because I don't know how they would. They couldn't even really have a dressed up character as
Yeah.
this because of the twist
It's
and
complicated.
the elusivity. Yeah, it's complicated. It's just too complicated of a villain to really have representation.
Without going too much into it or giving very much away, maybe they could just have like a cracked like TV screen that's showing some of the
Right.
some of the screen messaging that was going on with that. That would be a cool little tribute.
That would
maybe.
be cool.
I would
be
like
cool.
to see just maybe like I hope that they do little touches
of all of them
that allude to some of the lesser known
I
villains.
love that idea.
That would be great.
It would make me so happy to find out that they
Yes.
actually put some, even if it's like just a small Easter egg of
Yeah.
every Disney villain.
Oh, that would be so
Every
good.
Disney, I guess I would have to say animated villains so that we're not getting into like Touchstone pictures and stuff like that,
Oh,
because it would
wow.
be too many.
Yeah.
And then it would be hard for one. Like this one would be a little hard, but what you said makes perfect sense. Bambi, hardest.
That would be really hard.
Yeah.
Like mankind.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the villain.
That would be tough. Yeah, just a mirror.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give an honorable mention?
Go ahead.
I have on mine Hans from Frozen.
Yeah, okay.
He didn't quite crack my top 10 because ultimately in Frozen there's a lot that is up against the characters, and
Right.
Hans is kind of only a small part of that, really.
Right.
When
You don't want to
think
give
about
him
it.
too much credit.
Exactly. But he also does have this really weird thing where at the beginning he's got Love is an Open Door, the song with Anna, where you
That
don't
I love
think
that
he's
song.
a villain.
I know, and I love that.
But then
song.
when you look back on it, he's like, I think I found the place, or whatever that line is, where he's like, it's basically if you go back and listen to it knowing what you know now, you're like, oh, this is all very devious and all part of his
right.
master plan.
You were tricking me.
Yeah, and that's a pretty unique feature for a Disney villain. You don't normally get.
You don't normally be like, oh yeah, I dated that guy.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they do a bit like that in the Frozen sing-along, where they're like,
really?
oh, he's so dreamy.
Yeah.
You would never know. Yeah. So yeah, I've got Hans on mine.
And then he wound up being a total jerk.
I know, truly a twist for the ages when he turns out to be a villain.
And very relatable for a lot of us.
Oh yes, oh yes, yes indeed.
I put on my honorable mentions list Radigan. Really, I did that.
Oh.
I did this for my husband who really loves the Great Mouse Detective.
Gotta shout out to Radigan.
But also, this is like a classic, evil-looking, scary-looking, big bad villain in the mouse world.
And an incredible villain song.
Yes.
Yes, the world's greatest criminal mind.
Right. And voiced by Vincent Price, which at the time, wild, because, he has done all of the really famous, iconic horror movies, the Michael Jackson
Thriller monologue.
Yeah,
he's a horror icon. The fact that they had him do a Disney villain is perfect and fitting and awesome. I'm glad you brought this one up because he's very overlooked.
And I do think that he could find a place in Villain's Land.
I do too, even if it's just like part of like a rotating meet and greet or something. How cool would that be?
Yeah, a meet and greet, a bar even. Ooh, I don't know it.
I love that.
I don't know what they would. They do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, oh well, they do serve alcohol now in Magic Kingdom, am I right?
Yeah.
But a bar doesn't have to just be about alcohol anyway. It could also have really fun mocktails and a show or something like that.
Ooh, a little cabaret.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I would love that. I also have on my list Madame Tremaine from Cinderella. I don't
Okay.
know if she made an appearance on your list or
She
not.
did not.
Okay. I just think the reason she's not on my main list is because she doesn't have a song. There's some factors that don't quite,
Agreed.
let her crack the top 10. But I do think she's an iconic Disney villain, and they do a great job in the movie of making you root against her from the moment she's on screen.
Oh yeah,
she's so abusive to Cinderella
Right.
the whole time.
She's got a villain sidekick.
Oh yeah,
Love a
she
villain
does.
sidekick.
Yes, you mean
Lucifer.
Lucifer the cat. Lucifer could be practically on this list, but
Yeah. Right.
Oh, we should do sidekicks.
Oh, villain sidekicks.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Lucifer makes an appearance on the Disney Wish in the Cinderella statue that is in their atrium. And right behind Cinderella is Lucifer.
I love that.
Yes.
That's
and it's kind of funny.
That is funny. It's unexpected. Yeah.
I have one last one on my honorable mention. Should I go, or do you have multiple left?
I only have one left.
Okay.
I can go.
Okay.
It's Claude Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay.
He is
this one for your husband?
This one is partially for my husband.
He loves the song.
Jake's
husband loves the song.
Hellfire is his big villain song. And it's
I don't love the song, but it is memorable.
It is memorable, and the visuals with the song are so memorable and so scary.
Yeah.
It's like these fire demons that are tormenting him, and they represent his inner turmoil of being a priest but being tempted by sin. This is such a deep, weird, complex Disney villain.
Weird to me, but
you would never. This is Disney was trying to make this really cinematic adult themes movie with Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I think Frollo is the biggest piece of that, really, to have a villain that represents so many tricky, complicated conflicts going on. I think it's a big swing for Disney. It's very strange, but I also think the silence, justice, he's got so many memorable. That's not a baby, it's a monster. He is so evil.
He is very,
to his core, he's so evil. He had to be on my list.
Yes. Okay, fair. That one's a weird one for me. It's weird to me how they use that song a lot.
Yeah.
in the parks. But whatever.
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised.
do get it. He is very evil. They did a good job of, there's no question. There's question with some of them.
It's true, yeah. No,
I mean,
he's straight up, from the moment you see him, he's trying to kill a baby.
Yeah,
so
right.
He's he's
yeah.
bad to the bone.
Some of them just took a wrong turn.
It's true.
You know what I mean? But
you can almost see how they
made this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
My last one is Randall Boggs. This is one where I'm in another dimension, he could be maybe a not bad guy.
Yeah, it's there's a turning point.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So Randall Boggs is one of the bad guys in Monsters, Inc. I don't know. I think he's fun. No song. I wouldn't be surprised to find him somewhere in the Villains Land that we're getting. I would be surprised if he got an entire attraction or something like that.
Yeah, that would be surprising for sure.
But I do think it's a fun character. I like that he's occasionally funny. Yeah.
Great
for me, I love the
voice.
humor. Yeah.
Yeah. The humor definitely helps.
Yeah.
I think that's going to play a big part in both of our lists.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to dive into the meat of the episode today?
Yes.
All right. So I can start on a number 10 if you would like.
I would like that.
My number 10, which I really struggled with, I almost put him higher, is Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog.
Okay. Now, I put him as number 8.
Oh, okay. So you did have him a little higher. He has an iconic Disney villain song. You can't have a Disney villain song playlist without Friends from the Other Side.
Right.
He's got an amazing character voice.
Yes.
Which is he's got this deep, gravelly kind of voice. And in the songs, it's this wicked baritone. and it really lends itself to the character. The reason that I didn't have him up any higher is because for a large part of the movie, he's not necessarily involved in like the plot. Basically, the whole time they're frogs up
Sure.
until they're
Yeah,
back
that makes
in.
sense. He's not a big part of the movie.
Yeah, he just kind of, he's evil in the beginning and then he's really evil at the end. He definitely is a villain. He commits a murder in the film, so
Mhm.
he's definitely earned his spot on the list. But yeah, I think he's definitely, I think he will be part of Villains Land. Now my vision for him would be some type of voodoo themed bar or
Same.
something with
Bar
like
restaurant.
potions and concoctions and
yes.
card tricks and the whole
I would
9
love a
yards.
potion-themed mocktail.
Oh my god, that like fogs and stuff.
Yes, or bubbles, different colors.
Ooh, I can see it. I
Yes.
can envision it in my mind.
Yes.
That would be so cool. Yeah, I definitely need that in my life.
Yes, and on one of the Disney cruise ships, they have a Dr. Facilier lightly themed like coffee bar
Mm-hmm.
type situation, which is fun.
Yeah, that is fun. I definitely think
I want more.
Yes, this would be an opportunity.
I want the potions.
Yeah, I think the potions bar is the perfect big swing for this villain.
And I think that inside the space, they could use some projection to make like the shadows.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like silhouettes from the shadow realm.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
I like it.
I need that.
My number 10. Are we going on?
Please.
Is Captain Hook.
Oh.
So this is a bit of a classic.
Yes.
Is he on your list?
He is up higher on mine. He is my number 5.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do love Captain Hook, but tell me why Captain Hook makes your list.
Captain Hook makes my list because I think that he's classic. I like how he's constantly being fooled by these children.
Mm-hmm. He's like an angry old man.
Yeah. I like the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I like the outfit. I think it's fun. I think that what I imagine for Captain Hook in Villains Land is a seafood restaurant served in a pirate ship.
Oh, I love that.
I think they would have to have crocodile bites, not made out of real crocodile.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Something funny.
TikTok croc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they call him a codfish, right?
Oh, yeah. You're a codfish. Yeah, they do. That's how they taunt him. Oh, I love that. There used to be a Captain Hook's pirate ship in Disneyland back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a restaurant. So I would love to see that in Walt Disney World. Yeah. That would be so great. Yeah, I would love some type of like dark, scary lagoon type situation.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, and then the pirate ship would be like on that, like docked on that, and you'd go inside. That would be so great. I could imagine that being like the big table service restaurant of the land, or even if it were quick serve and it were, you get your food. I'm picturing Columbia Harbor House.
Yes, and to make it different than Columbia Harbor House, I think it would need to be like a sit down.
Yeah, I would love.
And they could do a sit down where because a pirate ship, they did. I don't know about real life, but in like the movies and stuff like that, they ate lavishly and they had kind of an elegance about where the captain would eat and what they would eat on and stuff like that. So you could have you're eating in the captain's, whatever.
Yeah, captain's table.
Yeah, and you could have some pirates that are playing instruments.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Hook hand on the piano. I love that. And I definitely need Captain Hook and Smee to make an appearance.
And they absolutely could. You know what I mean? That is a very easy, non-creepy. I mean, with villains, there's going to be creepy in a good way. But sometimes when we get costume characters, especially the ones with the
big heads.
The big heads. They are not done well.
They're unsettling.
But Captain Hook and Smee are easy.
Yeah, and they look good. Mm-hmm. They look good in that form. And I definitely think like a big pirate entertainment thing would also be possible.
Yeah.
There's lots of pirate songs in the Disney canon for them to feature. And Disney Cruise Line obviously capitalizes on that quite a bit with their pirate entertainment.
Right.
So yeah, I could see this whole concept. That sounds like a very
Is that what you were imagining a restaurant?
Honestly, yeah.
Oh, Okay,
a
cool.
little, either a restaurant or like that pirate entertainment type of thing. But I think it would work best in the context of a restaurant. I think
Okay.
that really would be the best case scenario.
Cool.
That would be awesome. All right. My number 9 is Mother Gothel from Tangled.
Okay.
She has an iconic song, which obviously holds a lot of weight in my ranking. She is evil and her motivations are selfish, and at whatever cost, she will achieve her goal, which is like youth and life.
Yes.
And I think that makes her a very compelling villain. I think she's very witchy in like a classic villain kind of way. So she kind of fits nicely into the lineup of Disney villains. And I feel like she would be a great part of like an all villain show of some type.
Yeah,
where
because
she
of the
comes out
song.
and does Mother Knows Best.
Yes.
You know, I think that would be a great use of her. She would also be a great meet and greet character because she has a very specific way of like talking and interacting with people that I think would translate well to that.
Yeah, and I don't think I've seen a meet and greet with her. Have
I
you?
don't know. I don't think I have either.
It might be difficult casting.
Yeah, you would need somebody who can really do into the voice with Rapunzel. She's got a very like,
And she has sharp features,
Yeah.
tall, thin,
yeah, it would definitely be unique
very
casting.
specific.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to see them pull that off.
Yes.
Because I think she deserves to have, you know, a nice little chunk represented in Villains Land.
Yes. I have Mother Gothel on my list as well. I love her dress so much that I want one.
Yeah.
But I did have a hard time thinking where she could be.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any she didn't get, there's nothing about her location or anything that leads to like a ride or
Right. No, yeah.
Or-
I don't see that for her.
and I think what she makes is what is she, hazelnut soup,
Oh, yeah.
right? Isn't
Yeah.
that what they say?
I guess they could serve that in a quick serve or something. And it would be
Maybe.
fine. But honestly, yeah, like a show, I think. Like
Yeah.
being part of, not even her own show, just being
Yeah.
part of somebody else's show
Yeah.
would be plenty for her.
Right. But I do like her a lot as
Me
a
too.
villain.
Me too.
Yes.
Where did you have her on your list?
Actually, she was up at number 4, but then
Oh.
I didn't have anything next to her as my idea for where she could go.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
So I don't know if 4 is really deserved.
Okay, got it. You're like, let me inch her down a little
I had
bit.
like considered a beauty type store
Oh.
that was Mother Gothel themed, but then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I could almost see
Maybe-
that for the Evil Queen.
Yeah,
From
maybe
Snow
she
White.
should get the counterpart bathroom.
Like a terrible bathroom.
Yeah, because Rapunzel's got the bathroom in Fantasyland, so
Yeah.
we give Mother Gothel a dark version, and
That sounds awful.
yeah, in a good way.
I could
or-
almost, like a candlelit bathroom. I could almost see it. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Well, my number 9 is the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, a classic villain.
Yes, the Queen of Hearts does not have like one of my favorite songs or is
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters, but I really like the aesthetic.
Me too.
And
Her
unlike
costume.
I love the costume.
Yeah.
Unlike Mother Gothel, she does have a space and henchmen and
Mhm.
things that would lend itself to a ride or something. Although what I imagine is a maze / play area.
Me too. Like a hedge maze.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
As much as it's not as fun to armchair imagineer something silly like a playground or a maze, they do need this.
Yeah.
They do need stuff like this. Sometimes kids need to burn off some energy.
Yeah, no, totally.
And I think that this could be themed in such a fun way.
And she's
with
not.
the cards.
Yeah, the cards
The
are like
roses.
iconic.
Yeah.
Painting the roses red. could
Yeah,
play
in
the
like a magic.
background.
Well, and they could have roses that like changed color.
Ooh, I would love
Me
that.
too.
She's also she's not so scary.
Right.
So like I think some parts of this land are gonna be genuinely scary,
Mhm.
which is great. But I do think you need
I doubt
characters
it.
like, well, that roller coaster in the concept art looks pretty scary.
Yeah, we'll
Big
see.
fire breathing dragon and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's spooky for kids. So I think you need characters like the Queen of Hearts to like kind of add some
Balance it out.
levity. She's very cartoonish,
Mhm.
you know. So yeah, I think she would be. I think that capacity, like the hedge maze situation, I think that would be a great way to balance out the themes of the land. That sounds great.
Yeah.
She did not make my list. My number. Oh, that was my number 9. My number 8. Oh, I wonder if this is going to be higher for you. Is Cruella de Vil
Oh no.
from
Yeah.
101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
She doesn't have an iconic song that she sings. She has an iconic song about her, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. I love the song. I feel like
I
everybody
love the
knows that
song.
song.
Yeah.
That plucky piano. Also iconic character design, the half wig, the half, the spotted coat, like everything about her is so iconic. And then she's got a car, like a really iconic villain car.
Mhm.
And I think that would be the capacity that I would like
Oh, you want a
see.
simulator type ride?
No, I want her to ride around in the car.
Oh,
in
oh
the
my
land,
gosh, yeah.
like on the street. I
Oh,
think
wow.
would be great. Like, I don't know, maybe they could adapt it to be like an open top car. And what's her henchman friend's name? She's got 2.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Hold on. I do remember. Go ahead. Go on with other.
They could be driving and she could be sitting in the back and be like taunting people from the car.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would like to see her.
Horace and Jasper.
Oh my gosh.
I knew
100 points for Morgan. That was so good. I can't believe it. But also her popularity has been revived recently by the film.
Yes.
Cruella.
Right. And I love that one.
Oh, that's one of my favorite. I don't know if you would call that a live action adaptation.
I wouldn't.
It's like a prequel.
I think that calling it a live action doesn't do it justice because I don't like the live actions.
I could see like a punk rock venue with all her like costume designs and stuff, and the music from the film I could see in there. Oh my god, that would be amazing. But even if they stick to the classic Cruella and they just put her in the DeVille car, I think that would be great as well.
Yeah, good one.
Would love to see her.
Okay, what number was that for you?
That was my number 8.
Okay, my number 8 was Dr. Facilier, which we already did, so I'm going to go ahead and go to number 7.
Lucky.
My number 7 is Yzma and Kronk.
Oh, Yzma. I had her in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I really struggled with her because she was one of my favorites growing up.
Yeah, funny that you'd have to have both of them, even though I feel like Kronk is evil or villain by association.
Oh yeah,
not in his heart.
And he's so empty-headed in an adorable way.
Yeah,
that
he's like a sidekick.
Yeah, he's a great sidekick.
Yeah. I added them. They are some of my favorites. They're funny.
Mm-hmm.
They're just all of the things. And also, I think that the story lends itself to either a pull the lever drop ride,
please,
or a cart. I've said this before, where you can buy spinach puffs.
Oh my god!
Because that's Kronk's, famous thing that he makes.
I would love that. Honestly, I think either of those would be a great situation. In terms of likelihood, I find that they always pay Emperor's New Groove dust.
No, there's no chance.
They never acknowledge it in a big way.
Yeah.
But honestly, even if they just had like a statue of Cat Yzma or something, that would
I love Cat Yzma.
That would be a win.
Yes.
For me, I suppose.
But I will say
I want more.
Yes, I will say that they have been listening to us as far as like some of the like we have said they don't do Hercules right, they don't,
or enough.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And when I said that they don't do, I meant they don't do the movie, they don't do it,
they don't represent it enough. They don't completely agree with that.
We've said that, and then they put a Hercules musical on one of the boats,
and we were so excited.
And like I just saw Max from the Goofy movie. I mean, not just from the Goofy movie, but I think mostly from the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
In Hollywood Studios, like 2 days ago.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like maybe they're starting to listen to us about like the 90s stuff, and that's where the Emperor's New Groove falls. So maybe.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I would absolutely love it.
I mean, because the kids that loved this stuff in the 90s are now the adults bringing their children to, you know what I mean? Like
they're spending
it would
money.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see it. I could see them featuring Yzma in a bit of a bigger capacity. One of the greatest crimes is that in earlier versions of the script, she had this incredible villain song called Snuff Out the Light. And
Really?
then Emperor's New Groove got reworked in massive ways because of the leadership in the studios at the time, specifically Jeffrey Katzenberg. And they basically threw out a bunch of what the movie was going to be and then reworked it into what we know now. And we lost the song, but it is available for listening on like iTunes and Apple Music. And Disney features it in like villain song compilations. They have like a villain song album and it's on there. So like if you wanna unearth a really good Disney villain song that you may have never gotten to hear, go ahead and look up Snuff Out the Light, performed by Eartha Kitt for that film, because it's one of the greats. And it makes me sad that she would be much higher on my list if she had like this awesome, lavish, elaborate musical number.
I do. I love the songs, the villain songs. So yeah, it's too bad that there's not one.
Right? Yeah. All right. My number 7 is a heavy hitter for sure. Very memorable villain, Jafar from Aladdin.
And that's my number 6. So perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're definitely right on course with that one. He's got such an evil presence about him. His character costume is iconic, the reds and blacks of his costume. He's got an evil, devious villain sidekick in Iago. And they work kind of in tandem to overthrow Agrabah.
An amazing song.
Oh yes, he's got an amazing song. You mean the Prince Ali reprise?
I do.
Oh, that is such a good villain.
So powerful.
I know, and it's like it's just a reprise of a song. It's not even particularly long, but the performance of it is so evil, so wicked.
Yes,
Jonathan Freeman turns in an iconic performance as Jafar. In that film, and I don't love the way that he's represented in the park with his costume.
I don't think I've seen him in the park.
He's one of those ones where you're like, they should have gotten a man, just a guy to do it, because
I have seen him.
He's
in the park.
like
they put a big head on him.
He's one of those big head perversions of nature,
and they didn't need to do that.
No, he should have just been some guy,
a face character.
Yeah. I think a meet and greet would be great for him. I think he would be great in a show. I don't know that I necessarily see a space completely dedicated to him.
Oh, I do. I can imagine a ride.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, because he turns into a big snake at one point.
That would be cool.
And so, yeah, I could imagine some sort of a dark ride or a thrill ride based around that one scene.
Yeah.
Where he's doing the Prince Ali reprise, he turns into a snake, he turns into a genie.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like each time you encounter him in a different scene, he's in a new form.
Something like that.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. I would love that.
Yeah.
A magic carpet ride where you have to face off against Jafar.
And then Iago could be the, part of it.
Like the comedic relief of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or kind of the narrator. I mean, you know what I mean?
I do, because like when you're going into the Ursula part of the Little Mermaid ride, Flotsam and Jetsam, kind of like they're like, she's in there, or whatever they say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see that for Iago. Gotta get Gilbert Gottfried back for that.
Wow.
He should do it. Yeah, I could actually, now that you say that, I wasn't thinking about the fact that he did all those transformations. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jafar, he's an iconic Disney villain. No doubt about it. And he's been scaring me forever, because not only did he scare me in Aladdin, but he's also a big part of Fantasmic here at Hollywood Studios. He's like one of the, in the villain section where their faces kind of morph into one another, he's one of them. And then they represent him throughout the show in the water projections. And he's like taunting Mickey and telling him his imagination isn't powerful enough or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely he's got a creepy legacy at Disney already.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that was my number 7.
Right, but also my number 6. So
But
what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Gaston.
Okay.
He's like...
Gaston didn't make my list.
You know, I debated even putting him on. Is it because he's not really that evil?
Yeah.
He's just a misogynist.
He's just... this is...
when you think about
this is... it's like the Hans, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
can definitely see
you're
that.
just a jerk guy.
He is just a jerk guy. He's really mean to Belle, but not like... He's not like a mass
We have
murderer.
worse villains in real life.
That's sadly... that's sadly very true. I think the thing that allows him to be on my list... Well, there's a couple things.
This song is great.
Iconic song, as we know.
Yeah. And I like what he already has, by the
too.
way, which is why I didn't put him on there.
Yeah.
I do like his little area that's in New Fantasyland. Go on.
The tavern, the statue, that is great for him. The thing that puts him on this list for me is the fact that he murders the beast in cold blood, or he tries to, right at the kind of apex of the story in Beauty and the Beast. I think that moment is heart-wrenching, and then he immediately gets his just desserts. But that moment, you see how someone who's kind of just like a guy who treats this girl badly and goes to all of these lengths to try to like win her, but then in the moment that leads to him doing something unspeakably evil is like a powerful statement about like human nature, I suppose. But I think between his song and he's got an iconic character voice, LeFou.
Yeah.
Between all of that together, he's certainly one of the more memorable of the villain.
Oh, for
lineup.
sure. Yeah.
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 I see why he's not on your list though. He is just some guy.
Yeah.
When you really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your number 6.
Yep.
My number 5 is Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco.
Oh wow.
I don't like the character, obviously. I love the song. I mean, I guess we do like some of the characters. So, yeah, he's Weasley.
He's
you know what I mean?
Dastardly guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm not really saying I love the character, but I love the songs that come out of from him.
Yeah.
And I just think that his character could make for a good restaurant if we wanted to do like a Mexican sit-down restaurant that featured... It's hard though, because he doesn't present as super... He's not as villainy as some of the villains.
No, but that's okay.
He's terrible, but there's not like with the Captain Hook restaurant, I could imagine some evil pirates singing songs, but the people that sing with Ernesto de la Cruz are not evil, they're just dead.
Right.
So I don't know.
I still feel like it would be a cool reprieve from like all of the overtly villainy stuff to have, a Mexican restaurant where Ernesto de la Cruz or his ghost or whatever sings, all those songs. I think that would still be really great. And maybe Hector, could at some point be like, wait, you guys don't even know that he like stole all these songs. He's such a bad guy. And then he like has him removed from the show or whatever to show that he's a villain or whatever. I think would be fun. He's got a great costume. He's one of those slow burn villains where at first you think he's a good guy.
Right.
And that is really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really is a gut punch when you find out that he's doing all this evil stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would fit though. Now that the more I think about it, the less I think it would fit.
That's fair, yeah. He didn't make my list. I couldn't really see a version of him that had its own dedicated space, but I think he would be a good part of either a projection show, maybe a live show where he sings a little bit of Remember Me or something.
Yeah.
I could see him fitting into something like a bigger piece of the land.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. My number 5 was actually Captain Hook.
Okay. So you can go on to 4 because I don't have a new one until 3.
My number 4, I actually think we should skip and save for a little bit later because I think they are definitely higher up on your list.
Okay. So what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Maleficent.
Okay. I didn't even put Maleficent on
what?
Because I already know she's going to be there.
Yeah.
she's not funny or witty, and there's
No.
not even a song, right?
No, there's
I
no
don't. To
song.
me, she's not my favorite. Go on.
That's
I want to hear.
understandable.
She is so classic and iconic, though. There's like no debating that. Tell me about why you love Maleficent.
Maleficent embodies a lot of what is identifiable as the branding of Disney villains in a lot of ways.
She is like the face of Disney villains.
Yeah. She's like an icon of villainy for sure. But first of all, she's got an incredible transformation.
And I also think she'll be all over Villains Land.
Me too. I think that's like what she's in the concept art.
Yeah.
She's definitely, she's already the face of Villains Land for sure. So you'll definitely find her there. But I think she's earned her spot. First of all, she's got an incredible transformation, which is a cornerstone of the villains. She turns into this terrifying dragon that breathes green fire. Second of all, she's got an iconic character design, high pointy eyebrows, horns in her cowl. Everything about, she's got this wicked beautifulness to her with her like sharp features and stuff. I think her costume is really cool. I do lament the fact that she doesn't have a song. That's what kept her from being even higher on my list, was if she had a really cool song. She's also very relevant in modern times because of those Angelina Jolie movies, which aren't my particular favorite things, but there's a lot of great imagery associated with Maleficent between the staff that she's got. Yes. She's got a sidekick, Crow, Diablo, Raven, Crow,
Raven?
Blackbird.
I think Raven.
Raven, perhaps, named Diablo. And she's got this...
Funny that we know his name, but not his...
I know, the type of bird he is.
Yeah, all right, go
on. And she's got this scorching green fire, which is like an iconic piece of her imagery, I think. And she's always represented well in the parks. And Fantasmic, she's like, I would say, the main villain.
Yeah.
She's got this big dragon transformation. And
she's the alpha of the villains.
She is. Yeah. She's like the queen of the villains.
Yeah.
And she's got a really cool piece of the Festival of Fantasy Parade at Magic Kingdom. Her dragon form is represented in a really unique kind of jaw-dropping way. So, you can't fight Maleficent.
Right.
She's, she will always be a cornerstone of the villains lineup.
Agreed.
Yep.
For me, my number 3, one of my iconic favorite, I guess, classic villains is Ursula.
Oh, yeah.
This is the villain I love to hate.
Oh, yes.
Like, I think Ursula has the best song.
Yep.
I think...
Agreed. She's got the number 1 song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the look of her is super, evil, but not... I don't know. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I really love everything about Ursula. I think that some sort of show, possibly like a water show, would be awesome. I don't know. Are we getting any water back there? Does that even make any sense? I don't know.
I don't know. I would love it. I'll tell you that much.
I want the song to be featured, though.
Yeah. If they do end up doing some type of like villain musical spectacular or whatever,
they have to, right?
I would think that's what I would do.
That's
if I
what
were
I
them,
would do.
100%.
But you said they've already done that and it didn't go well, right?
Well, yeah, they had something called Club Villain at Hollywood Studios. It was in the Sunset Showcase, which is the location that most recently housed Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. But they're also about to put another villain show in that exact space. I don't know if you remember that announcement from D23.
Yeah.
I think that's this coming year.
Okay.
They're going to open a villain show there. And I think perhaps maybe they're testing the format waters to see what works best in a villain's show. That's my hope. And then that will close, and then they'll put Muppet Vision 3D in there. No, I'm just kidding. now we're talking fantasy. But yeah, I do think that maybe they're trying to see if we're doing villain entertainment, what really works in like a stage show format the best. They've got a lot of experience with it between Phantasmic and also during the Halloween party. They have that Hocus Pocus Villain Spooktacular
Mm-hmm.
that features a lot of the classic villains on stage.
They back in the day they had a villains day on the cruise lines.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
didn't get to experience it, but
I've seen pictures.
mm,
Yeah, so maybe they will veer into that territory, and I think Ursula would really thrive in like a cabaret or a stage show type of
Yeah,
situation.
me too.
Water effects, a glowing flotsam and jetsam, projections of all the souls. I just think that would be perfect.
Yes, agreed.
Need that. Ursula was my number one.
Okay.
But
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I think that most people agree that she's legendary.
Yeah, legendary.
Legendary villain.
And that's probably my favorite part of the Little Mermaid dark ride we have now, is that area where you go into her caverns or whatever and hear her song. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Me too. That's my favorite part of the ride. That animatronic is so cool.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And she does bits from the song at her little cauldron or whatever she's got there. And I think that's what you want from Ursula. You want her to do her big,
and so amazing to be like dancing along with a villain song.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the difference to me between what to me is a great villain song and like Hellfire, which is also an iconic villain song, but in a different way. Nobody's dancing to Hellfire. Right? It's not dancey. So.
No, it's not dancey.
I'm not saying it's not a good song in a different way.
No, it's not. It's just a different type of thing. It's like a big dramatic song where Poor Unfortunate Souls is like delicious.
Yes.
It's like delightfully bouncy. You do love to hate her.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 is Scar.
Mine too.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So we just switched 1 and 3.
Yeah, sounds like it. What is there to say?
What
Everybody already knows. He's iconic. He's got a great song, lots of green fire in the imagery. Mm-hmm. That's how you know he's a villain. I'm just kidding. He's persuasive. He unites an entire group of hyenas to do his bidding for him. He weaponizes the disenfranchised to rise up and do his bidding. He's iconic. He murders the king of Pride Rock in cold blood in the very beginning of the movie. Yeah. He's evil. He's evil to the core. And I mean, be prepared.
Be prepared is amazing. I think Jeremy Irons, just the way he sounds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
He does such a perfect villain voice.
Yes.
When he's doing Scar.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't now. This is tricky because if they were to have like a live action type of show, it would be very difficult, I feel, to represent Scar in that type of medium. But if they do go for like a lagoon show or a projection show of some kind on their villain castle or whatever, or a water show, I think it would be very easy and very cool to have a Be Prepared section of the show as like a big moment.
I anticipate a show of some sort, possibly a fireworks show that includes all of these big songs.
Yeah.
But do you have any other thoughts or plans for Scar in the land?
I think a boneyard? Is that what they call it?
It's the elephant graveyard.
Elephant graveyard.
Roller coaster. That's exactly what I have.
Yeah, where you're like, your roller coaster, I could see it, where your roller coaster
Well, yeah, because we almost do this in Thunder for like that second.
Those like overhanging tusk-shaped bones that you kind of travel through a tunnel of. But
they could up it,
Oh yeah, they could, and there could be hyenas on the rocks that are like foaming at you, almost like Velocicoaster.
Foaming, oh my god.
Oh yeah, they're like trying to eat you.
Yeah.
And they're chasing you, and then you come face to face with Scar, and he's got the fire. I could totally see that. That would be amazing.
That would be great. A little break where you see Scar, and he says something. Oh, amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I like this idea better than I like the Maleficent roller coaster idea because it has more to it.
Yeah, it almost seems like it would be, I mean, that's a pretty unique, where else would you experience such a I feel like you do come face to face with the Maleficent thing. It almost feels like Expedition Everest, almost a little bit, where you're like not in theming, but in like
No, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, you like go on this winding thing. It's kind of scary, and then you come face to face with the big monster, and then
Yeah. I'm worried about it because I have come to expect more of a story with newer roller coasters,
right.
and I'm worried there won't be a big. I mean, yeah. What will the story be with Maleficent? Do you think?
I don't know. I'm hoping they concoct some type of original story where it's not like a beat for beat. Like,
what else will you
your
see?
Prince Philip.
Like I don't want to just be on a painted black roller coaster in black mountains, and it be called, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be called a Maleficent roller coaster because you saw her once, or you saw her dragon once, or you see her and her dragon once. Still, that's not enough theming or enough story.
I know. It's hard to think about at this stage because we know so little, but I think perhaps Disney is inspired by Velocicoaster in this way, where maybe they're going to go for thrill in this
but
scenario.
even Velocicoaster in the queue has a really fun story.
Maybe that's what they'll do.
I hope so. I just
like a cavernous dungeon queue where I don't know.
You're learning the story about why you're doing this?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you're in the castle and Maleficent shows up and she curses you or something really crazy, you know?
I hope so.
Maybe, because they have been doing legendary queues lately. Rise of the Resistance with all that story in
That's
the
a good point.
You know?
We should expect that they would.
I do get the fear, though, because in the concept art, it does seem like a very straightforward, like, ride on a roller coaster, encounter with the dragon, and then you're kind of
right. And that's what I don't want. That feels like phoning it in. That feels like Six Flags or whatever.
I hope they do more than that.
Yeah.
Either with projection technology and dark portions. They've got a lot to compete with right now.
They do have a lot to compete with. So you think they'll
I hope they step it up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it just seems like they're cashing in on this desire for a villain's land.
Right.
If they don't execute it to a really creative, extent, and they kind of just go for like a straightforward, well, you got your Maleficent roller coaster, I hope you're happy now, I think that would be a crushing blow.
Especially because like we have said a bunch, because we've discovered this over the years, that when we go into something with high expectations, it's been difficult. And when we go into something with low expectations, like we did when they redid the Country Bears, and then we were blown away.
Yeah, we were like, heck yeah.
Yeah, but because we have been like so excited for a villain's land for our literally our entire lives.
Yeah.
There's no way to go into this without high expectations.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm going to cry if it's just like a
boring.
Like this could have been anything roller coaster. You know what I mean?
Oh god, that would be terrible. I feel like they're also facing a lot of added pressure by the fact that Epic Universe is right now opening with what appears to be a truly iconic dark themed land.
Yes.
Monsters.
Dark Universe.
Thank you. That was my brain broke.
No,
but yeah, that ride has like state of the art animatronics, a really compelling story.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that too, right? Because they've got to compete.
That's what I would think. I would think if they're up against that, then it would inspire them to think outside the box even more, to really blow us away with like the story.
Yeah, I hope so.
So yeah, that's what we're hoping for. And speaking about what we're hoping for, what I hope for the Maleficent roller coaster is that it defies our expectations,
Right.
It's even better than we could have imagined it. It's a high bar.
Yeah.
I hope they're up for it.
Mm-hmm. So we're at my number 1 and your number 3.
Yes.
So this is Hades.
Yeah.
The comedian of the villains.
Truly. He's the funniest one.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. He's like a stand-up comedian.
And is that what you think for him? What you picture for him?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Like a comedy.
I tried thinking, would anything else make sense? But it would take away from what we love about him, which is how funny he is.
I know.
I don't want to ride the river, whatever it's called.
The Jungle Cruise?
No.
The river?
You know, the river Styx or whatever.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, as cool as they probably could make that with projecting souls into the water or whatever, there's not going to be any humor that I associate with Hades and the Hercules franchise. Do you like that idea?
I like a comedy club more.
Okay.
I hadn't thought of the River Styx ride for this particular episode, but maybe if Hades were like a big part of it, and
maybe you take a river ride to get to him and his comedy club.
I actually really like that.
Yeah,
I really like that. But I definitely think it would be a missed opportunity to not play up the comedy. Of Hades. He's an iconically funny character. He's got, and the fact that his head like shoots out flames when he's really mad is like an iconic moment. So I hope they're able to capitalize on that. The only thing Hades doesn't have is an iconic villain's song, which is silly because Hercules is like an incredible musical. So maybe, I don't know, I don't think they're going to add a villain song or anything like that. But I think a comedy club, because he doesn't have a song, is like the perfect medium for him.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he needs to just do a wicked comedy act.
If they do some sort of a review or whatever we're thinking is a possibility, where it's like a villain song show, he could be the MC.
Oh, I think that's
not just can, should be the MC. He doesn't have a song, but everybody loves him. He's so funny. He could make fun of them in between acts.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that is so smart. Are you listening, Disney? That is what you should do, 100%. I hadn't even thought about that. That is truly the best way they could use him.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a song, but he's got something everybody loves, which is like to laugh. And it's insult comedy, basically, and that would work so well with the villains because you don't want to feel happy for them, you know? You want somebody to kind of pick at them a little bit. Oh, that would be so great.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh man, yeah. Hades is the MC for the Villains Cabaret. That's where he belongs, 100%. I had two more that I wanted to mention that I should have probably put in my honorable mentions that we are definitely going to see, I think. The evil queen from Snow White is definitely going to be up in there in some capacity.
Yeah.
Maybe a candy shop like the Poison Apple.
Candy Cauldron.
Yeah, Candy Cauldron, that's right. That they used to have in MGM Studios or that they have in Disney Springs. I think that would be great. Or maybe a magic mirror makeover situation, like the antithesis of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where they make you into an evil villainy type of makeover would be fun.
Maybe.
I don't know exactly how they do that. Maybe they make your hair into horns like Maleficent and they put purple eyeshadow on you and they call it a day. That'd be fun. But either way, I definitely think we'll see her in some capacity. And also Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of surprised that wasn't on your list.
I think he's bound to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Either in the cabaret portion of things, if we do end up getting that, or at least in a projection type of format. He
does have a good song.
He's got a great song and he's got a very like nightlife entertainment like personality.
Yes.
So I definitely think that would work very well. I think they've attempted to do him as a meet and greet before. So
in Disneyland, you think?
I think so.
I think so too.
During their villains
Oogie Boogie Bash.
Or Oogie Boogie Bash.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see him doing something like that.
Yeah.
I think maybe he's part of that thing where you go through the maze and you see all the villains.
They could do a ride for him.
Like, that would be based on the part at the end where you're in his lair and he's playing the game with the big roulette board. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because the Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is the Nightmare Before Christmas makeover of Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, is so wildly popular.
Oh yeah.
And we don't have anything really representing the Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, only during the Halloween event do we get that.
Yeah.
Which is not
right.
Not everybody goes to that.
Teeny bit during the Jollywood Nights Christmas event too, although that's a shocker, you know.
Right, that is weird.
Actually I don't see a picture of an Oogie Boogie meet. Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
easy. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah, he's basically...
Anybody could be in there.
That's just a sack of potatoes or
That's
something.
exactly right. Right.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see him in some capacity. It would be hard to imagine that they don't weave Nightmare Before Christmas into this somehow, just because the aesthetic is so dark and villainy, and Oogie Boogie is inarguably a Disney villain at this point, so it is what it is. He'll be there. I'm also seeing Morgan just Googled for like Oogie Boogie at Disneyland, and for some reason Pain and Panic also appeared. Oh my god, I need them to be in there somehow.
And another easy costume, because anytime you have a costume that's not a face costume, although sometimes they come out looking weird, like Jafar. That was a mistake.
But Pain and Panic
look good.
They look like they're so cartoony in the film. I know it is a cartoon, so obviously, but they look so...
But so is Jafar, and they mess him up. You know what I mean?
That is a good point. But I feel like Pain and Panic look like monsters. And usually that translates a little better than a person.
I agree.
They struggle with person to foam.
So much.
Or whatever. Yeah. Google Jessica Rabbit.
I know! It was just about to say that. I was like, I always think of the Jessica Rabbit one.
Terrifying.
It's so cringy.
The real villain. Cringy. Our number one is that Jessica Rabbit costume.
Yeah. Not her character, just the costume.
Yeah, that's the most wicked thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oh my god.
All right.
Poor Jessica Rabbit.
She doesn't deserve that. She's not bad. She's just drawn that way. All right, guys, what do you think? What's your number one Disney villain of all time? I want to hear. Maybe you've got a really obscure one. Maybe your favorite Disney villain is the bowler hat guy from Meet the Robinsons. I want to hear all about it in the comments on our social media, on Instagram and TikTok at Neverland Navco.
Yes. We also have an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation, where we do custom shirts, sweatshirts, dish towels, and that's where you would get your free trip t-shirts from if you email me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com and let me book your next travel for free.
Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us for this deliciously devious episode of Neverland Navigation Co. We're off to dream up some more attractions for Villains Land, so we'll see you
on our next adventure. Bye.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
Oh my god, exactly an hour. Look at us go.